Hey girlies, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to just sit down and do some makeup. I want to just do like a cute little makeup look with you guys. I haven't really sat down and did my makeup with you, or like at least a dedicated video of doing my makeup with you, in a very long time. So I thought we could sit down and do that together. Plus, I want to do a story time of how I overcame being fat and give some, self-love tips that I've learned along the way, along my journey, that maybe it could help you or somebody out there. I have this cute little deer. I don't know if you guys can see, I'm gonna stand up a little bit, but I have this cute deer with her cute bow and a little butterfly. And then I have these, let me stand back. I'm wearing these like gingham pants. I don't know what they're not like, they're like kind of linen pants, kind of, I don't know, parachute linen pants basically, and they're super comfortable. And yeah, so that's the fit, and that's kind of like the inspiration. It's very like pink, girly, fun, summer, flirty vibe. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna do full on eyeshadow. We'll see how I feel once we get to that part of the makeup routine. I just popped this pimple and a few pimples, that's why I'm like all red. But it needs to be done. So let's start with our base. I'm going to prep this skin. I'm going to be using the Rare Beauty matte foundation. Apparently you can use this on dry skin, but you just don't set it. So I've used it before and I set my face with powder, and I forgot that I wasn't supposed to do that, and it was absolutely horrible. Like it was not good. But it's a self-setting foundation, so you don't have to set it. So I'm gonna try to use it, attempt to use it again, and see if I like it better without setting my face. So we're gonna try that. But before we put this on, we still do need to really prep our skin. So I'm going to start out with the Beauty Hydrate and Prepare Milky Toner. So growing up, I have always been a big girl. When I was younger, when I was like a baby, when I would say like kindergarten age, I was like thinner or smaller. But as I got older, I did gain weight, and ever since then, I was always like a bigger girl. So I am 28 years old. I was born in 98. And so I grew up as a child in the early 2000s. And we all know what the early 2000s are known for. They are known for weight loss shows and, tabloids where celebrity and famous people's appearances were judged a lot, all the time. So it was all about losing weight. It was all about being skinny, and it was just like not acceptable to be anything else. But you also like couldn't be too skinny, because then you would be accused of having an eating disorder or being sick or being ill. So growing up, I never really saw myself as like somebody that the boys were interested in or liked. I did have like boyfriends and crushes and people who had crushes on me, but I knew ultimately like the overall general audience and peers were not attracted to me because I was fat. And I never thought I was ugly, like not ugly, but definitely not necessarily like attractive because of being fat. I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Super Gooey Gripper Power Grip Primer. So every year I would do New Year's resolutions, and I would write it down on like a piece of paper. I don't know why. I think I wrote it down like maybe in like a little journal or something, but I would always like write my New Year's resolution down on a piece of paper. Middle school was like the worst for me. Like it was, middle schoolers are like the most insecure human beings in the entire world. Like they're so insecure with themselves. They're going through all these changes or lack thereof. and they just feel so insecure, and so they're taking it out on everybody, like everybody, and like hormones and everything. Yeah, it was just a horrible time. I feel like growing up in media, it was always about like high school. Like high school was where the bullies were, and high school was like the worst, and that's, you know, what you look towards of like, you know, beware of high school and like high schoolers. But for high school, I went to a small Catholic school, a small Catholic private school, and it was pretty chill for the most part. There definitely was some moments where I've had people girls who were not nice to me and made fun of me. But I feel like middle school was worse. Like, I feel like middle school was like way worse. So as I got older, this was coming out of like high school, going into college. College was chill. I went to a community college, so it's not just like people from my age or my graduation class definitely like followed along into the community college, but there was definitely a lot of like other ages, like older people. So everyone was really just there to like mind their business and like do their schoolwork and, you know, do what you need to do. No one's like worried about each other. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Glow Recipe Dewdrops. I did bedazzle this myself. So cute. I just want to make sure my T-zone is really hydrated. Also, I'm waiting for this really sticky, tacky primer to dry down so that it's really actually tacky and does the work it needs to do. Ooh. I've literally never had so much acne on my forehead ever, like at once. Like, this is crazy. I've never had so much. Whenever I get waxed, or like, yeah, mostly whenever I get waxed, sometimes when I pluck like my hairs and stuff, but when I get waxed, I do get bumps and stuff, so it makes sense. Like, I just got my eyebrows waxed last weekend, but it's still like crazy because I don't deal with acne. So when I get like this, like, that's just so crazy to me. Or when in the past I've had like allergic reactions or like rashes or something, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like there's a little fear inside of me that it will never go away, and that I have developed this like new skin situation. I have heard of like people as they get older, their body changes, and things you're allergic to that you were never allergic to before, now you're allergic to them. Or you develop something on your body or on your skin that like you never had an issue with before. So I'm always scared that like one day that's going to happen to me. It is a fear. It's like, it's an irrational fear, but also rational. Like, it's very real that it can very much happen. I just had a coworker who is older than me, and he just developed a allergy to mango, and so he had eaten some mango and then like a really severe reaction where he had to like go to the doctor and carry around an EpiPen now. Like, can you imagine just one day you wake up and you're like, you try something that you've always had before and never had a problem with, and now all of a sudden you have a problem with it? Like, worst fear. Like, I can't even imagine. So back to the story. Going into college, again, nobody like was really worried about each other. So I remember going into I have this like box. It's kind of like a storage box that has all of my like memories from my childhood in it. And I remember one day looking inside, because sometimes I look inside of it and go through it once in a while. And I remember finding all of my pieces of paper. I probably still have them, honestly. Maybe, I don't know. Probably. All of my pieces of paper of like my New Year's resolutions. And every single paper, the only New Year's resolution, I'm going to emphasize that, the only New Year's resolution was to lose weight. That was it. Like, that was the only like improvement that I saw for myself, and that was like my main goal. Like, I didn't even think about any other New Year's resolutions. I was like, I don't know what else I would want to put or focus on. And there's so many other things I could have tried to work on, like self-confidence, or just honestly anything else, like staying organized, or, getting better grades in science or math, because those were like the subjects I struggled in. But no, losing weight, that was like the only resolution and like my top priority, my top goal for years. This wasn't just 1 year. This is like year after year after year. It's the same resolution. And that was really sad. Like, that was really sad to see. That was really, really sad. And I just felt like in that moment, maybe because also I was just like developing and growing and becoming more mature as well, but I just felt like something needed to change. I was like, this is not it. Like, this is not it. I just felt so sad for myself as like a child that was what I was focused on, like in 4th grade, 5th grade, you know, middle school, whatever. Like, that's what I was focused on, was losing weight, because I felt as though that was what I was told by society and by people in my life I needed to work better on, was losing weight. I would feel better, I would look better, my health would be better, everyone would be happy around me, I would be happy if I lost weight. Now we're gonna do foundation. Let's see, hopefully we'll have to really see after it kind of like dries down what it looks like, but it's supposed to set itself, so we'll see. The color isn't too bad. I mean, it's not like blending in with my skin tone, but we can make it work. We'll make it work. It'll be good. I feel like Selena has really dry skin, or really oily skin or something, like not dry skin at all, because I feel like a lot of her products gear towards dry skin. You can tell when a owner of a brand, like what kind of skin they have depending on what products they make. For example, One Size, Patrick Starr, he has oily skin, like really, really oily skin. I think a lot of men usually do, but you can tell because all his products are like super mattifying, like not hydrating at all. Jaclyn Cosmetics, Jaclyn Hill, I loved her brand because like most of her products were geared towards dry skin. She had dry skin, and they just, like, a lot of her base products really, really worked for me. So I remember, I think I want to say this was probably, I think this was like 2020. No, I think this was probably 2019. I found this YouTuber, Emma Thompson Hill. I'll put her on the screen. I love her. I absolutely love her. She was the first plus size woman that I seen on social media, or just seen in general, who has a body type similar to mine. Her body type isn't exactly like mine, but it's very similar to mine. Her body, especially in the like belly area, is very similar to mine, and that was the first time I ever seen like somebody who looked like that and was like confident and proud and like showing it off on social media and showing it off to people and to the world. It was like no big deal. Like, it was a turning point for me. I watched so many of her videos, and a lot of her videos were, you know, fashion hauls or just like advice on self-love, and she's like a really big advocate for body positivity and self-love. And it was just, yeah, she's amazing. She still is really, really amazing. And so I followed a lot of her tips, and just in general, by watching her content, it just really empowered me. I cannot tell the story about my journey of self-love without mentioning her. She is a big part in that. Like, obviously it takes me and myself to do my part, to do the work, to change my mindset, change my environment, you know, change what I'm consuming in order to be healthier in my mind. It obviously, you know, is the work that I do, but she has really like guided me. So during this time, my goal changed from focusing on losing weight to not focusing on losing weight. I decided not to care about losing weight. I was just like, F it. Like, I'm just going to not focus on that. I'm gonna focus on self-care, self-love. I'm gonna love myself, learn how to love myself, learn how to love the body that I have, who I am, where I'm at in this present time. I'm gonna learn to love who I am. That's where I needed to start. And I don't want to say this in the fact that I know there's a lot of controversy around self-love and body positivity. And, you know, some people believe that by doing that, it's totally discrediting the argument that, you know, exercising and eating healthy and losing weight is better for you. Nobody is like discrediting that. I just want to say that. Like, at least I'm not. I'm not saying that's not a more healthy choice. And I need to be happy with who I am. I can't hate myself. Like, I can't do that. I have to love myself no matter what form I am, right? So at this point, I started my YouTube channel, and you're not gonna find any of my old videos because I privated them. But I used to do like fashion hauls, like fashion content was what I was really into. This was before I got into makeup, because I didn't get into makeup until 2020, and I wasn't really like full-on girly girl. Like, I was a girly girl, but not like full-on all pink like sparkle girly girl until even, I think, past the time that I started makeup. At this time in like 2019, I was really into fashion and clothes and just really exploring with my body type with clothing. Like, what kind of clothes do I want to experiment with? What clothes have I always wanted to wear but like never felt comfortable wearing, but wanted to try to see like how I can wear it in a way that makes me feel comfortable and cute. Clothes is like that's a whole segment in itself, talking about clothing and, you know, finding clothing that fits me, that's reasonably priced, that's cute and not ugly, and like grandma clothes. Like, yeah, that's a whole thing. This also was during the time, speaking of clothing, this also was during the time where a lot of fashion brands, like being plus size was in trend. It's now becoming out of trend, and stores are starting to pull back on the plus size clothing in stores, which is really frustrating and really sad and really disappointing. But during this time in 2019, being plus size was like a trend, which is so weird. And so a lot of stores, a lot of fashion brands were creating plus size sections. So I was like having the time of my life. I grew up loving Forever 21, loving all the clothes in Forever 21. I would go to the store, to the mall with my best friend, and we would, you know, go shopping in Forever 21, and she would find like clothes that fit her, and I would try to find like one little piece of clothing that was like at least a large. I think they went up to like a large. Sometimes you'd find maybe like an XL. Just to squeeze in, because I just wanted to have a piece of it. Like, it was so unattainable to me in that moment because they didn't have my sizes, but I just wanted a piece. I just wanted to be like, I wanted to be like everyone else. But at this time, they finally created plus sizes, and they had like a whole section of plus size, which the whole section of having a whole section just like plus sizes is like so weird to me. Why can't you just make the straight sizes like bigger sizes? Like, some stores do that, so I do appreciate that. But yeah, that was one thing that irritated me. I was like, okay, you're giving us plus sizes, but why can't I just turn around and look at the straight sizes and there will be a 3X there? You know what I mean? Yeah, this is definitely not my color. I look like Casper the Ghost, but you know what that means. We need bronzer. So after like changing my mindset and feeling a little bit more like satisfied with myself, I sat in that for years, and I wasn't focused on losing weight. I was still more focused on just trying to, I had spent decades, years, my whole life like hating myself and hating my body. So it was going to take years and years and years to really like get into a spot that felt good. Like, it wasn't just gonna happen overnight. Like, yes, I had an epiphany. Yes, it was like, boom, like, you know, I can start doing things a little differently now, you know, but I still struggle. I still struggle because you have been told the same message over and over and over and over again by so many people, you know, society, just situations that have told you, your brain has been formed to think that you are not acceptable, you are not loved, you are not good enough unless you lose weight, unless you are skinny. I'm gonna go in with e.l.f. This is the Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour in the shade Light Medium. So fast forward to 2024. I'm out of college. I graduated in 2023. I'm living on my own. I'm, you know, figuring out what's next for me. And I would have been 26. I would have been 25 turning 26 in 2024. So my frontal lobe has fully developed at this point, and maybe that's part of it. I don't know, but yeah, I just felt the urge to work out. I just felt like I wanted to work out, and so I started working out. I started out slow. I had found this creator on TikTok. I was just scrolling on TikTok and I found this creator, and she does workouts on YouTube, but she does like step workouts, like stepper workouts where you like go on the stepper. And so I decided to check it out, and I bought a stepper, and I really loved how she does her workouts. I've shown you guys in the past in a vlog me working out, and I showed you like a picture of her, but I can pop her up on the screen as well. What I really love about it is she'll do like, it's about like 45 seconds of each part of the workout. So you start out on the stepper for 45 seconds, and then you go into some sort of like exercise. Let's say it's squats, okay? So you would do the what is it called? The stepper for 45 seconds. You would get off, do squats for 45 seconds, and then you would rest for 45 seconds. Drink some water, rest, take a deep breath, and then you would repeat it again. So you would get back on the stepper, 45 seconds, squats, 45 seconds, or not necessarily 45 seconds of squats, but like maybe 10 squats. And then you'd rest for 45 seconds. So it would continue with that, and you would do like 3 sets of that. And then you would go on to another set and maybe do a different exercise. Once you do like 3 different exercises and 3 different sets, you would then go into doing the stepper for 45 seconds, rest for 45 seconds, stepper 45 seconds, rest 45 seconds. You just keep repeating that for the second half of the video. And so that's how she like structures her workouts. And I got through a whole workout. And I felt good. I didn't feel like I was dying. I felt I was capable of doing the exercises that she was doing. She's also she's about like a mid-size plus size woman. And you know, it's not just like, I'm not just watching like another skinny girl doing a workout. Like, this is another plus size woman doing a workout. It was a workout that was like doable for me. Like, it was actually doable for me. And I was sweating, I was hot, I felt really freaking good. Like, my body felt like the best it's ever felt ever. And I felt capable. Like, I actually felt capable of doing this workout. And I loved it, and I did it every single day. And I would work at this specific job. I was a teacher at this job, and I was working 4/10, so I was working really long days, and I would come home still, and I would not even lay on my bed. I would go straight to working out, because I knew if I laid on my bed, that would be done. Like, I would be done for. But I would work out every single day, and I would take a shower. On the weekends, I'd work out. When I like got up, I'd get up, put my biker shorts on and my hoodie, and I would work out and then take a shower, and then I would eat breakfast or whatever. And then if it was after work, then I would like eat dinner or whatever and rest. But I loved it, and I lost weight. And it was the thinnest I have ever been. And I felt so good, like so good. And it was just crazy because, first of all, I did not think I could ever really work out, honestly. Like, in my mind, I was like, okay, working out means like running, which I absolutely hate to do, or it means like squats or push-ups, or yeah, I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to do any of that. So I never really thought working out was for me, but I've learned that certain workouts are for certain people. You have to find what works for you. Same thing if you think about it with older people, right? If you think about an old person, they're not going to do squats. They're not going to do push-ups, right? Most older people, right? They have certain like classes where older people are like in the water and do like water aerobics, and they have specific exercises for older people. So it's the same concept, like people who are whatever size you are or whatever ability you have, or whatever, you know, some people are more flexible or have more strength than other people, and so your exercises are going to look different. And when you go through your like exercising journey, you grow strength, you grow muscle, and so you might end up changing your workout because you need something to challenge you a little bit more. So there's always like adjusting, and yeah, no one taught me that. Everyone just told me you need to work out, and no one actually really like sat down and taught me and really framed working out or taking care of your body in that way. Like if I knew this, I would have started a long time ago. Plus, another thing I really liked about working out was it felt so good. Like my body, stretching my body. Like even now, if I struggle or like don't have time or am not able to work out in the day, I will at least just stretch, and it makes such a huge difference, And it just feels so much better. I'm like, oh, so I didn't have low energy. I had headaches, and I felt like all the dang time, and it's because I like wasn't moving my body. I just need to move my body. Just move your body, whatever that looks like. I don't call it exercising, I don't call it working out. When I talk about, you know, working out and exercising, I like to say moving my body. Like, oh, I'm moving my body right now, or I'm gonna be moving my body, or I just need to move my body today, because that's ultimately what it is. Like, I think this idea of working out and exercise has this really bad history to, you know, those words, and so it just doesn't always feel like attainable or accessible or for everybody. Like, it doesn't feel inclusive. So, but it can be. You just have to find what's right for you. But I feel so empowered when I work out. I feel so strong when I work out. I just feel so good. I drink more water when I work out. It actually like makes me want to eat healthier, because when you work out and you feel good and then it's time for dinner, it's time to eat, you don't want to eat that really greasy food or really heavy meal, because you're like, dang, I know I'm gonna feel like shit. So you want to, you know, eat something light, something healthy. It actually like encourages you ultimately to do better in that area as well. Another thing I really loved, because at the time that I was working out, I was going through a lot with my job. So mentally, I was having a really hard time, and working out was great because I took my anger, my frustration, my sadness out on working out. Like it's a way of meditation. I would have my music in my ears, like my turned up music, like music that made me feel, you know, excited, good, like tough, strong. Like I love working out to Megan Thee Stallion. She always makes me feel just so empowered. It's my number one artist to work out to. But I would have my headphones in my ears. I would be like doing my workout, and I would just go harder and stronger on my workout because of not only just like the music empowering me, but also just how I was feeling with my mental health and everything I was going through. I was taking that out in my workout. It made a huge difference. Like it really got me through such a tough time. It's like a meditation, because you're really sitting there reflecting, thinking, but you're focusing on something. So I was thinking about work, but also there was times where I wasn't. I was so like tuned into what I was doing that I was not thinking about work or anything that was like really stressful to me. So it really helped my anxiety in that way too as well. I'm gonna go in with Rare Beauty blush, liquid blush in Lucky. I want kind of a bright pink. I don't know, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling kind of a bright pink. Let's see how that does. So thinking about present day today and where I'm at, I think, you know, your self-love journey, your just like journey on growth is just, it's not linear. I have learned that you can't be hard on yourself, okay? Like yes, I was working out in 2024. I did stop working out. I started working out at the beginning of the year, like springtime. I stopped working out during the fall because I got into a relationship, and that really changed things because I was kind of losing myself and losing a part of myself by, you know, not sticking to my routines because I was so focused on wanting to be with the person I was in a relationship with. And it was really sad. It really made me really depressed and sad because this person didn't really have like motivation himself to, like, he had motivation to also work out and do better, but he like wasn't doing it. So it's hard when you're around someone who like isn't really doing it, and so it makes you not feel like you want to do it either. Just that one little dot, like, look at that. It's so pretty. I think I'm gonna put some up here too. Kind of want like a sunburnt feel. I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer. This is in shade 2. Me and my partner broke up in February of this year, and ever since I've kind of just been alone now. I am trying to get back to myself, back to a routine, back to working out, and I'm slowly getting there, but I have learned, you know, like, not to be hard on myself. It's hard not to want to feel like I did it before, like I was able to like do workout every single day and saw the difference it made, and I want to do that again. But you know, you're in different times of your lives, like things happen. If you think about it, like, your life is not linear, right? Like, you go through ups and downs with your mental health, and my mental health, and I think this really goes for anyone, like your mental health, it affects your health, it affects all these other things. So if I'm feeling down, low, like low energy, just like feeling down on myself, I'm not gonna feel like I want to get up and work out or make better choices, honestly. So I'm trying to get like back into a place that feels consistent, but it is hard. You have ups and downs, you have things that you go through, you know, like think about when somebody has a loved one that passes away, right? Like, you might be doing really great, in a really great mood, like everything's going good, you feel motivated to like have a good day, and then that happens, and now you are grieving and just struggling to even just get through the day or get through the work day, let alone thinking about working out or, you know, eating healthy, when you don't want to do that. You want to just lay in bed, soak, and, you know, have some brownies or something. So you have to give yourself grace, and that's one thing I've learned recently and trying to do better at doing, is giving myself grace. Like, I cannot expect that I am going to be able to, you know, maintain a workout every single day. I can just do my best, and eventually that's the goal. Like, that is the goal, to do that, to at least move my body in some type of way every single day. Like I said, even if I don't feel like working out or I don't have the time, at least stretching my body makes a huge difference. Like today, I haven't had time to work out, so after this video, I'm gonna take a shower, but I think I don't know if I'm gonna work out, but I think I might stretch my body at least before I hit the shower. I feel like this bronzer is not doing it for me. Like, I feel like I need something deeper, so I'm gonna go into this very old Jaclyn Cosmetics bronzer. This is Top Down. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like, I think, coffee or caramel or something. I don't know, some sort of something. You know what I realized I didn't do is concealer. And I just put powder on my face. That's crazy. So I'm gonna give some self-love tips. I have 3 tips. If you learn anything from this video, these are the 3 things that you should walk away from thinking about and reflecting on. I'm using the Lancome All Over concealers. I got these in PR. They're expensive. I got them in PR. But I absolutely love them, and I do recommend them if you can afford it. I'm kind of like sad because once they run out, I don't know if I can afford them. But because they're more on the higher end of concealers, and there's so many good like affordable concealers that you don't necessarily need to do high end. I'm also gonna use, because I have powder on my face and I don't want to like, I don't know, I don't want to like mix it and then it just ends up not being good. I'm gonna use a brush. I'm using this Patrick Ta double-ended concealer brush, which is amazing, just so that it keeps a little bit more concentrated and I have more control, rather than like a sponge where it's just gonna go all over the place. Usually I would use a sponge though, but I have to be careful because I totally forgot to do concealer before powder. So the first tip comes from actually Emma. She had said in one of her like self-love tips videos, and it has stuck with me and I used it and it really worked for me. The first tip: follow people, follow creators on social media, whether that's watching YouTubers or just creators on TikTok, Instagram, that have body types like yours. It's really important for you to see other people who have a body type like yours. Like for me, it was really helpful seeing Emma, like I was talking about before, how helpful it was to see someone like Emma who was really confident in her body and had a body like mine, and someone who I could look for, you know, fashion advice or, you know, fashion inspo because she had a body like mine. Definitely follow people. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't not follow people who don't have the same body type as you, but make sure you are following people who, you know, for me, being plus size, I'm gonna follow plus size girls. I do try to find, you know, women who have similar body types like me, but it's very rare that I do. So just in general, I follow all different kinds of body types because you are in charge of what you consume. So make sure that you are like doing your part at least in trying to consume and, you know, create an environment around you that shows a variety, a diversity of body types. People bigger than you, people are smaller than you, people, you know, with disabilities. Like, you want to see all the different sort of bodies to help remind you when you are, you know, scrolling on Kylie Jenner's, you know, Instagram page or Hailey Bieber, you know, videos or whatever, and you're constantly seeing that. You want to make sure that you are reminding yourself that there's so many people out there and there's so many different kinds of bodies. Like, it still to this day, I am surprised at all the different kinds of body types there is and different ways people can be in the world. I can also put some recommendations of people to follow that I follow and I recommend following. Another tip I have for you is to, when you think about your health, when you think about your body, when you think about your goals for your body and your health, whether that's your mindset or that's your physical health, focus on the feeling, focus on your feeling, focus on meditating with your body, sitting with your body, reflecting with your body. Focus on the feeling rather than the number. I do have a scale just because I got one like free through my like insurance or whatever, and they sent it to me, but I don't typically use it. I don't weigh myself every single day. I don't do that. I don't measure myself like with one of those like measuring tapes. I don't focus on the number. I focus on the feeling. Like, I know at this point I don't need a number to tell me that like I need to lose weight or that I'm at a good weight. Like, I know, like, I can look in the mirror, I can see, I can feel it in my body on whether I, you know, am doing good or not. And I just don't think it's healthy. Like, I don't think it's healthy to look at the number. I think it's more healthy and more satisfying when you start to really feel it. When you wake up every day, you look in the mirror, you see yourself, you feel the changes in your mood. That's when you know, like, oh, like, I feel a difference and this is amazing and I don't want this feeling to ever go away. So I would really advise you to sit with yourself and think about that. Think about not thinking about the number. Think about your body. Like, let your body talk to you and really listen to what it has to say and what it's feeling and what feels right for you. Another tip I have is the more you wear it, the easier it gets. And what I mean by that is, as I was talking about earlier, in 2019, I was really experimenting with fashion and really excited about fashion and wearing, you know, different kinds of clothes I never thought I would wear before, and just like exploring that. One of the kinds of clothes that I, you know, never thought I would wear, never thought I could wear, was crop tops. I would always wear crop tops with like a tank top underneath, straight leg jeans, because in my mind I always wore like big t-shirts that were full length all the way down covering my belly, and skinny jeans, because I didn't like the straight leg jeans, because I felt like with like a bigger top and then the bigger straight leg pants together, even still to this day, I feel like it would just all look baggy and I would just look bigger than I am. And so I was like, how am I supposed to wear like straight leg jeans? So I'd wear skinny jeans and then I'd wear like a baggier top. But now I wear like baby tees or, you know, crop tops and a maybe more of like a form-fitting top, and then I'll wear my straight leg jeans and the top does not cover my belly. That was a really hard adjustment. Like, that was really, really hard to think about not wearing something that is not going to cover my belly. Like, that was really hard for me. I'm gonna do my brows. I'm going into this Morphe pencil and I'm just going to brush them. I hate doing my brows, my least favorite part of my routine. Like I was saying, the more I wore it, like the easier it got. I thought when I first started wearing that kind of style out and about, I was like, oh my God, like everyone's gonna stare at me. Everyone's gonna be like, what is she wearing? Why would she wear that? Girl, nobody was doing none of that. Everyone was focused on what they were doing. Like, yeah, I still to this day get some stares sometimes. You're not slick. I see you looking at my belly. Like, I know that's what you're looking at, but I just like, whatever. I just like brush it off. And most times people don't look, like they're not they're not thinking about that. They're not looking. Like, you are going to be a harsh critic and more like self-conscious about it than what you actually need to be. One like clothing outfit that it's not really an outfit, but something that I have been always wanting to wear and never thought I could ever wear it, is a bikini. I have seen like plus size women wear bikinis and they look really good. And I don't know, I'm just like, I don't know if I can pull it off. Like, it might be a stretch. I don't know. I want to do it. Like, I want to try. I kind of want one just for fun. Like, just to have one to like wear around the house, to look in the mirror, like just to kind of like test myself, because I think that will be a really, really big test for me, is wearing a bikini. I would say if you are interested in wearing a certain style and you're kind of nervous about what it looks like on your body type, or just kind of getting comfortable with wearing different kind of clothing, wear it around the house. Like, wear it around the house. Start there. And then level up once you start feeling comfortable. Wear it to the grocery store on just like a quick little run. Like, oh, I just got to go pick up some eggs. Wear it to the grocery store. See how it feels. See how it feels for you. If you think everyone's going to be staring and wondering like, what is she wearing? Like, why is she wearing that? You would be surprised. People aren't really like focused on you like that. A lot of it is in your head. I'm not saying that people won't look at you or people won't think that, and it's not a possibility, but it's not as bad and it's not as many people as you really think it's going to be. Eventually you will get comfortable. You will get comfortable and you'll look back at, you know, the beginning of your journey and think, wow, like I was really doing the most. Like, I didn't need to be like that. Like, I should have been a lot more confident. You know, you gotta fake it until you can make it, really. But if you have any questions or comments, or just like you just want to talk about your journey or what you're going through or anything, my DMs are always open. Instagram, TikTok, I'm not really like as focused looking at DMs there, but definitely Instagram, or you just want to put a comment down below, you could definitely do that. I'm always here to listen and be support. I have had creators that have really helped me get out of my shell and really you know, start my self-love journey, Emma being one of them. And I would love to be that for other people. And I did have a supporter who reached out to me and expressed that I do have a similar body type as they do. And so they really enjoy watching my content because of that. They feel that connection. And it makes me feel so good because that's like, I was on the other side of it, what, 7 years ago? 7 years ago? 7 years ago. And like, it's crazy to think that I'm, you know, doing that for somebody else out there. Yeah, I just want to represent, because we do not have enough like plus size creators or plus size representation out there that isn't like the beauty standard of plus size too as well. Because you have like the beautiful plus size baddies who like have big boobs and have a big butt and like maybe a smaller stomach, but you don't see the girls who don't have all of that and have a big stomach. You don't see like the other side of like plus size people or plus size creators who aren't like, you know, acceptable plus size people. And my body type is definitely not an acceptable plus size body shape. So I think there should be more representation out there, and people need to see it. Like, people need to see, like, people live like this, people are like this. There's all different kinds of shapes and sizes. Us plus size women are not all like thick in the right places. We are beautiful, we're here, we're proud, and yeah, we gotta represent. I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Place Blush and Bronze Blurring Pro palette in volume 2. This is their like big gigantic palette. There's volume 1 as well, and I was so excited to get this palette. I started down lower and then I'm working myself up. I also forgot to do my bronzer on my nose, so I'm gonna take just like a little brush here, and I don't think I'm gonna do eyeshadow, so we're just gonna take this bronzer and put it in my eyes. I feel like there's a harsh line between my bronzer and my concealer, so I think I'm gonna take my foundation brush, which has like cream foundation. I'm just gonna light, ooh, girl, that's not light. I was just gonna lightly like kind of add, just like blend it together, but now I'm like, I don't know. Just gonna see if this works. Okay, that's working, that's working. I like that, I like that. Okay, I feel like I should have added more concealer. I feel like I want to throw some of this blush on my lid. I'm gonna try to put some of this like sparkle. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Crystal Reflector in Quartz. I was like, I'm not gonna do eyeshadow, and then I'm doing eyeshadow. I'm gonna be using this ColourPop lip pencil in the shade BFF3. I'm gonna take the back of this and just kind of rub it out. I think I'm gonna use one of these REM Beauty lippies just because why not? Let's use the shade. This is a matte lipstick in Bubbly. So apparently I wasn't recording, but I was putting on the Too Faced Kissing Jelly Gloss in the shade Bubblegum. See how pretty that is? I don't want to do too much, just because I notice when I do put a gloss over like a lipstick and a liner, it like mixes everything together, and I don't like that. I don't need it to like mix all together. Okay, girls, this is the finished look. I just threw on some earrings, threw my headband back on, and this is the finished look. I'm really loving my blush. Like, the blush is giving really rosy cheeks. It's really pretty. I like it. It's so cute. And with my deer, so cute. You'll have to let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think of this look? Would you try a cute like pinky look like this? I feel like pink just goes good on everyone's skin tone, so I think you should try this look. I'm gonna wrap up this video, and this video has probably been long enough as it is. Thank you, girlies, so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my social medias at alesa.beauty, and I will see you girlies in the next video. Bye.